Okay, good afternoon. I hope you had a nice lunch, but also means that you may fall asleep after the good lunch. Thank you for coming to our section. My name is Wing Wu, and I am from Hong Kong Baptist University Library. And my co-presenter, Monica, she is from Chinese University of Hong Kong. So may I ask, any of you have attended the panel discussion yesterday that chaired by Colleen, that I briefly mentioned something about JULAC, so have any of you? So I will try not to be repeating what I said yesterday. And today, our section will be mainly focused on the JULAC, our roadmap in doing the negotiation of TAs since 2020, okay? So this is the outline. I think this will help us to understand what our flow would be. And the first one, I think JULAC may be a new acronym to some of the audience. So JULAC stands for Joint University Librarians Advisory Committee. So I recall it also once called JUPLUS. Because at that time, we do have two polytechnics. So they may be JUPLAC. But then later on, similar to the UK education system, the two polytechnic is upgraded to university status. So we have the name called JULAC. And it's not a young organization. We established back in 1967. And next year, we'll be celebrating our 60th anniversary, and we will have a conference hosted by Chinese University Hong Kong. We have two JULAC directors here. We have A institution, Ben from Chinese University Library, and my boss, Chris, Baptist University. I know he's not happy that I always call him boss. Yeah, so we have 8 universities in total, and for those publishers, you visit Hong Kong, you know all of us. Okay. And in our JULAC webpage, we also list the mission, vision, and our principle of collaboration. So 60 years old, a very strong sense of collaborations. So the TA is one of our collaboration, but we also have a lot of other projects. So this is how the structure of JULAC right now. The purple one is the JULAC directors, which is kind of, we see it as our top, the top, by the university librarians of all 8 universities. We have a JULAC manager in place. Bonnie is not here today, but she is managing all the admin work and also spend a lot of time in doing the negotiation on not only TAs, but also other e-resources and other things. And then there are 10 subcommittee below JULAC. And I don't know what is the oldest one, but the youngest one is this, Assessment, Analytics, and Advocacy Committees. It's a new name, but it used to call Statistic Committee. So this AAA committee is the new name. And today we will talk about is Consortiall. Consortiall is where, we group negotiate the TA. You may see ALL is italic because at that time it was the former Chinese University librarian, Colin Story. He particularly invented this new name, and then particularly ALL need to italic. So this is a Consortiall. And then we will also mention about our Research Support Committee because the role in going to TA is not Consortiall alone. Actually, we work with the Research Support Committee at the beginning. So now I'm going to tell you about, the past 6-7 years history, how we all the way come to this moment. So this is our journey. So back in 2019, there's a special meeting among Consortiall, and both Monica and I are the representative of our institution. And we talk about the open access and transformative agreement. And then we send the proposal to JULAC and endorse in September. So then we need to start having the works done. And first thing is what I mentioned, the Consortiall and the Research Support Committee, RSC, we actually met 2 times, and then each of us get some assignment work to do. And then in 2020, January, fortunately, before the pandemic, we are able to hold a 2-day workshops. And as what I said yesterday, I mean, like Colleen was one of our moderator of this workshop. And then at the same time, later in the year, we got like the UGC, University Grant Committee. I just find that, I mean, like India also use the same term, UGC. And the Research Grant Committee, they have some consultation asking about what the libraries or each university is doing on open access. So we keep moving along, and our first agreement is signed in December 2020. And then all the way up to now, I mean, we have 18 TAs in hand. But TAs, we also have some subscribe to open deals too. So this is the roadmap. So let me tell you a bit more. As I mentioned, back in 2020, there's 2 subcommittee, the Consortiall and the RSC, we are assigned to start exploring the TA, the cost, I mean particularly the cost. We need to know whether we can afford it. So we 2 committees, we just work on our own on trying to finding about the estimate cost. So for Consortiall, we contact 9 publishers and asking them, tell us about the past 5 years of our the JULAC authors, how many articles have published, and the APC if available. And then the Research Support Committee, they go to look at the 2018 year only. They take 1 year only of Web of Science and the Scopus to estimate how many articles are published by the university authors. So altogether, I mean, when we punch the data, we find that the estimation is very a lot. I think in Consortiall, the 9 publisher information we gather, we probably say we spend $150,000 US only. But then the Research Support Committee, the data they got, it will be something like $3 million US. So you can see the big difference of our estimation. So looking at that, we find that this exercise, I don't want to say failure, but it just doesn't match. So when, I mean, we have no idea what to move forward, then we have this 2-day workshop. And it was hosted at University of Science and Technology. So we have Colleen. She flew all the way to Hong Kong, spent 2 days with us. And we also have, at that time, the former CDL director, Ivy. She conducted the section in Zoom. So at the end of that 2-day workshop, we come up with this roadmap that we think that we should follow this path in doing our negotiation. So this is the outcome of our 2-day workshop. Okay, now I hand to Monica to tell you the TA in place, what kind of TAs we have.
Thank you, Wing. First of all, thank you for all your coming. And then because Wing already mentioned about that, we are starting our first transformative license from 2020. So we are still young baby, not young baby, maybe a kid. So I would like to make the section is more interactive. Also, if you have any question or sharing your idea or experience, just feel free to raise your hand, and then we can discuss more. Also, push the pressure to the vendor to make their transformative license better, right? So after a few years, we already experienced a tough generally about the transformative license, including the negotiation, modifying the model, and then implement the transformative license in our library. So from our experience, we find out there is a few model that we will encounter. Just mentioned in other section, you can find that there is quite a number of model. Even they say it's transformative license. Sometimes they say a RMP or PRNR, as well as token something. So you can imagine how difficult and how complicated when you deal with this kind of the model. So we just summarize this kind of model here to share with the colleagues to see whether you also encounter some kind of the model like here or even some variation of the model. From our experience, we will encounter some model like deposit payment model, prepayment model. That means we need to put the money in the account and then just deducting after APC implemented. So you can see we also describe some details and description here. If you have any idea or differences, you can just raise your hand to let me know. We can refine this. And then one of the other models should be membership model that it is quite lovely, that sometimes they will provide multi-pricing package to you to pick and choose. Like you can just enjoy all the free publication during your membership, or you can just go for some particular regions to pick or some particular journal to let your faculty member to submit their article or submit their work. So this is a second one that we find that. And the third one should be so-called more traditional transformative license model that we're trying to make it is cost neutral. But honestly speaking, in fact, it's difficult to reach this kind of model right away. It's because the model not good enough for the cost neutral. Second, is our publication not enough to fulfill the transformative license, the quota. Because if you really want to cost neutral, that means you need to submit certain article to make use of the subscription costs. So, but unluckily, sometimes it's not what you expected. So even they call so-called cost neutral transformative license, but actually not exactly that. So we still pay a lot anyway, as my boss said. And the other, sorry, boss. And the other, and the other one is top-up APC. That means sometimes you can maybe also encounter some transformative license. They with a limited quota, quite unfriendly deal, but sometimes may still need to go forward, right? So but at the end we find that it's not enough, and then some vendor will be very friendly to provide, not friendly. They also earn money from that. But at least they provide the model to us to top up, can buy more extra after even we use up all the token. But better offer will be they will provide the discount. The worst offer, they will not provide the discount. Also, so if there is any vendor connects here, just go back to see your offer to us. Is it fair enough? You see, something is provided discount and something provide not discount anyway. The other one is quite a new baby in the industry. It's called subscription to open. I think most of you already know this one. This one is still developing then, so that what we experience is this one will be more easy to manage by the library, but they may have some drawback and need to refine. So we can work together to see whether we can have other more and more model coming up. Of course, I don't like a more and model coming up because it's difficult to manage, but in fact, we should be more realistic that we may need to focus on this. Next one is also pass to the wing to pay with you.
Okay, so these 5 or 6 years, I mean, we negotiate with 18 TA deals, and also there's some deals we didn't, join at all. So you can imagine we are talking like 20, even more publishers. And here we will have 3 scenarios. Is the real life scenario we have during these past few years, and we would like to share with you. And no worry, publisher, you are not named. We will use a ABCD to represent. So if you think it's you, why? Well, this scenario actually, I mean, in the 2024 JULAC forum, we in fact has a role play asking some of other consortium members to really sit on the stage, and then they just as the role play, but they can't come, or or they probably is kind of being shy to be in this kind of international conference. So say, okay, then I'll turn it to a short animation. Each one will be no more than 2 minutes. So maybe let's take a look at the first difficult scenario we have. So we have 4 characters in this 3 cartoon or animation video, and we have 4 characters, and somehow they would link to each other. So the scenario 1 and then lead to scenario 2 and lead to scenario 3. This publisher looks like who? Okay. All right. So this is the one. It's the eligible journals. So what difficult situation we actually encounter? So please take a look.
I wonder if our university supports open access with Publisher A. I got an email from them about possible support earlier. I just received an invoice for $5,000 for my article in Journal B of Publisher A. Is there a waiver or discount through our university?
Let's see. I'll check the coverage of our Transformative Agreement with Publisher A. I've checked Journal B is a gold open access title. Unfortunately, our agreement doesn't cover gold OA journals.
That's disappointing. But my colleague published in the same journal last year and no need to pay. Why not now?
Journal B recently flipped to gold OA. It used to be covered, but it no longer under our agreement now.
This is confusing. Is there anything library can do?
We understand it's frustrating. We've raised the issue with Publisher A, and our team will pay close attention to those changes when negotiating with other publishers.
If you have questions about open access or publication fees, feel free to ask us anytime. We're here to help.
Okay, so this is one of the real example we encounter. And from this scenario, what we learn is whenever we negotiate, we really need to take it very serious to ensure that the journal will not flip to become, I don't want to say go away, but illegible during the contract, unless probably is seized or transferred to other publisher. And then, of course, we also need to, make sure that when we promote to authors, to tell them that which one are count, which one are not. So this is something that also means our research support team, when they face the authors, they need to be also deliver the message very clearly. Okay, so this is the first example. So the next slide will be this junior librarian will ask a senior librarian more questions. I see the researcher is somehow look like you, Monica. Okay, so this is about cost neutrality. I mean, like Monica already said, and then in other section, I mean, I have been seeing this all the time. I mean, like librarians, I mean, we pay, but we want to pay in a fair price. So how would this be?
Both Publisher D and Publisher E say their offers are cost neutral, but their calculations are so different. And what does 2024 APC in the wild mean? Why use 2024 but not 2025?
Let's start with APC. It means Article Processing Charge. APC in the wild is the money our researchers actually paid publishers for open access last year. Publishers don't have complete data for 2025 yet. That's why they use 2024 numbers.
That makes sense for using 2024 figures. However, not all publishers include APC in the wild in TA, right?
True. Now, cost neutral can be complicated. Publisher D's offer is more straightforward, aimed at not increasing costs. Publisher E looks at our total spending, both the library subscription fees and what researchers pay to publish.
But after including APC in the wild, Publisher E's read and publish fee for 2026 is a big increase, over 10%.
We just can't afford that. Will we have extra money?
We'll need to discuss this with university management and keep negotiating. It's not easy.
This is so complicated.
Agreed. Researchers like TAs. However, under subscription model, we could unsubscribe journals when money is tight. Under TA, we can't do that unless we switch back to the subscription model. Keeping researchers happy while managing the budget is a challenge every library faces. What's urgent now is to ask Publisher E to extend our current subscription model for a year. So we have more time to negotiate and maybe trim down some journals before entering TA.
Now people call it read-only instead of subscription. Do I need to learn everything again?
Not exactly. We still aim to keep perpetual access of read-only content under TA, but we have to watch out for the differences.
Okay, so the junior librarian asks the senior librarian, and it's a TA 101, right? I mean, like telling him what is APC, what is spend in the wild, and not only spend in the wild, I think we also encounter some very interesting name there. We need to think twice. What does it mean? So, but anyway, as what that chart showed, like the publisher add the money together. So they don't want to say, I have the subscription income, and I also want to keep my APC income in the same time. So really, I mean, cost neutral. I mean, this is what everyone would say, but is it the truth? I mean, this is something really struggling. And but we do have one or two cases, right? We are able to negotiate, and then the publisher say, no, okay, we will exclude the spend in the wild from your calculation. That's a big victory. And in some cases, we also need to keep negotiating for a longer time. So that's a case that actually we need to ask the publisher to extend our subscription model for a year so that we have more time to negotiate the TA. So try not to be rushed. I mean, we have time. We want to negotiate the best deal as much as we can. So this is what our strategy at that time. And again, I mean, we really doesn't like the spend in the wild. I mean, these figures to be as our base of doing the TA cost calculation. So now the senior librarian will fight to the publishers. So let's see what happens.
To allow more time for our TA negotiations, would it be possible to extend our current contract for one more year with the same price as 2025?
Our company can offer a one-year extension, but with a 2% price increase, no value attrition.
Can you clarify what no value attrition means?
Next year, 4 of your subscribed journals will convert to Gold OA. The cost of these will not be deducted from your subscription. You'll need to swap in other journals of similar value.
This is not acceptable. Extending the contract helps both sides so we can work out the best TA in the future. Our principle is that flipped OA journals should be deducted from the contract value. Please reconsider.
2 weeks later.
Good news! The company has agreed. The contract can be extended with flipped titles deducted from the cost.
Thank you. That's a positive outcome for both sides.
Okay, so before I say about the lesson learned, I also want to credit to my 2 young team member, Chris, Lois, and Gemini. So I just throw the dialogue to them and say that I mean, whatever software or AI tools you use, you just create an animation video for us. So they use Canva and Speechify in doing this. I mean, even the tone, I mean, we have been, I mean, doing a lot of changes. So it's more like human being rather than a monotone, blah, 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 like that. Okay, so here, in this case, therefore in details. I mean, like when we, agree with the renewal for 1 year, we find this suddenly they say, oh, no value attrition. And of course, we are very mad because that, Goal OA shouldn't be counted in this TA calculation. So, we just make sure that we will have the conversation, everything document, and then we just explain to the vendor, you cannot do this. So eventually, the publisher agree. So I think this is also one thing we learned that, whenever during the negotiation process, any Zoom, any phone call, but definitely need to have emails to record all the discussion to make sure that there's no misunderstanding or any major point left out in the negotiation. So this is the 3 scenarios. And I don't know A, B, C, D, E. Whether you can think of any publishers like this. Actually, the E could be a hint. Yeah. Okay. Any E? Any E here? Okay. So now the last part will be by Monica. We talk more. We're just trying to summarize what experience we have. Yeah.
Okay, before moving forward, we just to emphasize that we want to achieve our goal to share and for open access, but we cannot always do it if it is not our principle, basic principle. Our basic principle is get the cost-effective and win-win solution between the publisher and library. So is the deal is not good enough, then we will still not to do it. So in Chinese, 不为做而做 is our main purpose. Yes. So just before moving forward, so after certain scenario you just read through about the innovations, you can imagine how difficult to us to implement the transformative license. So that's why we find during the negotiations, no matter how many very creative turns on jargons created by publisher, that it is equal to money, right? So to avoid we are falling into the black hole, we create the short list before our doing negotiations. But unluckily, we find that the short list is longer and get longer and get longer. It's not a short list anymore, become a book. So that's why we organize it to try to get a dynamic guideline to provide to our colleagues when we deal with a different vendor, because we mentioned we already have 16 transformative license, 18. Yes, 16 transformative license in hand. So our checklist or so-called guideline have been organized and could be grouped into 4 different areas. We need to look into it. So anybody or any guest is able to match these 4 elements to the above previous 3 scenario. Anybody volunteer here? Sorry, we don't have any prize or gift for your answer, but we try to make it more interesting, right? Does anyone want to try? No. You're so upset anymore. Don't worry about this. I know there is no one will answer. And also time constraint, so we already make the matching with you to line up all the elements to the different scenario. So you can imagine when we really dealing with the transformative license negotiation or some other terms that created by the vendor, F2O or others, we're also looking for all of this. Publishing data, we need to get back from the vendor to provide more data to us to study how many or how much we should or able to contribute for the transformative license, whether it is affordable. And then also financial and invoicing is talking about, because our consortium and consortium deal. So different institutions, they got a different financial procedures. We also need to cater different member for this. And also access and licensing is more difficult term or difficult area to negotiate, because we want to keep our perpetual access for all the rich contents. And tops up on that, we can have an open access article to our end user. So we list a lot of items when we negotiate the deal with the vendor. So they always say, JULAC is a very tough negotiator, but honestly speaking, you are a very tough vendor. And then
We grow together.
yes, we go together.
Condition, we provide a little more, right?
Yes.
Grow.
Yes, okay. Afterward, even we already have got a deal, we still need to how to implement. And then we also find that because transformative license with a different model, different variations, so also it's difficult to our research support colleague or front-end colleagues to deal with the faculty member. So we also want to try to modify or set up some kind of the guideline and workflow between different departments internally. So this kind of the area we are working on. We also want to, there may have some more, but we need to experience and then just add some more into it. This is last one should be a graphic, let you see easier. This is some summarized table for your more detailed action we have checked. Don't worry, no need to take a picture. I remember that PPT will be uploaded, so no need to take a picture. And then conclusion, okay. Conclusion is, at present, what our consortium aim to is, we aim to have a data-driven negotiation and model modification. That means vendor need to provide the detailed data to us as detailed as possible. And then they are also vendor need is required to more flexible to work out the model with our team. Yes, we have one successful cases that we can modify the model for the vendor and then vendor accept it. So I very appreciate it. And then also hopefully other vendor can learn from it.
Credit to Monica, because it's during the negotiation. She suddenly come up with a very creative idea, and fortunately the publisher also accept that idea.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your credit. And then the second part we are still working on is we try to have a more fair model, fair with both sides, because the ecosystem is vendor die, we die. We die, vendor die. So it's honest. Yes. So that's why we need to look for the more fairness model that we can work together and then we can move forward. So, and the first one is we have just mentioned, because transformative license and their variation is quite new to the library or also new to the academic. So how to serve the academic more easier, more cost effective, we still are learning. So we are trying to come up some guideline, no matter between the consortium member or even internal department in the library. We try to maintain of the high service level to at least make our faculty member happy, right? So what we are looking forward is not the end or what we want. Is the list is quite long, but we can add it every time when you encounter new thing. The first one is we are thinking about the sustainability, because you can imagine quite thank you. There is quite a lot of different model. All this model is trying sometime. So how to make the model more sustainable is a question. So we are just thinking about, because we find that some model is quite revenue oriented. I don't want to name anyone, but you can imagine APC at subscription fee, it should be a revenue oriented model, so it's not favorable. And then some model is quite really sharing oriented. What I mean is the vendor did have some passion to share the open access for academic. So we appreciate that. So for some vendor who still stick with the revenue oriented, thinking about how you can contribute to the community. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, it's because as a librarian, we try to make our own interest, right?
So, the famous quote is what? The librarian is to improve the society through creation of... Okay.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Christopher. Okay. And then because we think that nowadays quite a lot of transformative licenses maybe generated or provided by the big publishers. But there is a room to small publishers or society publishers to have their own ecosystem for transformative license or open access. So we willing to work with the society publishers to work out some possibility, right? And then also mention a lot of in the different section is regional collaboration is very important to us, because we can get more idea and brainstorming to create some more cost-effective model among us. Also, share analytic to the benchmarking impact is our long-term achievement we're looking for. And also, back to my CHK, okay. We are supporting Diamond and Community Lead OA. Yes, my boss also will have a particular, very special project and launch in June coming year, this year. So just look and see and expect that. Okay, so we're also thinking about Diamond OA, is it possible? Is this cost effective or is sustainable? Of course, there is still have some drawback or some difficulty we need to overcome. But if we not to try going in or step into it, there's no choice. So we try to step into it and explore the possibility and try to work with the other connects or other university to see how the Diamond OA is working. And then during all the transformative license, we also are aware that some limitation, not just the quota, is also the publication type. Because based on different subject or discipline, and then they have a different demand on the publication. Sometimes maybe element will be good enough. Sometimes it's full text, or sometimes it's post. But also we find that some proceeding and book we will not include it. But I think maybe publisher have their own concern, but please share with us why you cannot include it. And then we can see what way we can work on it to include it. So this is another one we are looking for. And the ebook OA is also a topic I heard from some section here. So I think OA book will be another area we need to work on it. And then because the OA book will be more complicated with the journal, particularly for the infrastructure issue. So I think publisher, if you really want to make use or open up OA ebook, then your platform or your system infrastructure may need to cater this kind of the demand. And the other one I'm not list here is the license, the terms about the AI. When we even negotiate transformative license, but the terms and condition of the AI application, is already on roll. So we need to work on it. And I hope that the vendor here, I saw a lot of familiar faces here. And then please just look at it and then discuss and negotiate with us. Why? Yes. If any colleagues, particular library colleagues have idea, just wait here because a lot of vendors here. So you can share your idea with them. Okay. Hopefully you'll enjoy the session here. Thank you.
So I think we still have 5 minutes for Q&A. Do we have another mic? I mean, probably we need to hand. Oh, okay.
My voice is loud enough.
So any questions? I mean, like, this is, I mean, just sharing of what we have learned in these few years. And I would love to hear any other fellows. I mean, have any interesting experience or any success or even failure during your negotiation? Yes.
I'm just curious on how you're managing all the transformative agreements you have. Do you have like a spreadsheet? Do you have a system that you use? Because if you are negotiating more than 15 for multiple universities, or 18, and that will grow, or are you planning to reduce it? So yeah, that's my question. Thank you. I'm Monique. I'm Curtin University in Perth. Thanks.
At my institution, this is something I'm really pleased. Our team work quite close with the research support team, who is the one that actually handling the daily inquiry from author. And then we have a very strong collaboration and communication. So we don't get into the vendor dashboard, to do the approval. They do it, and we just don't bother to get into the dashboard. So we have a shared Teams spreadsheet to mark all the approved the approved articles. So we can also monitoring for those kept APC that we can monitor what is left. And when we see that, something is going to deplete soon, then we will definitely need to discuss and also contact the vendor what other alternatives. But usually just money, right? You just top up. But I think this is something we did just using Excel, not very sophisticated system. Although before lunch, I think I saw one booth with some similar function that may help. But for the consortial level, we run, A library runs quite independently. So the JULAC manager, Bonnie, that I mentioned, we haven't think about whether there should be a system for her in monitoring, our progress. Again, the TAs, it's not like all 8 of us would be on board at the same time. So far, we only have 2 agreements that we all 8 signed together. Somehow, there's some other agreement is maybe 2 or 3 join, and then a year or year later, then another one join. So opt-in is important. In our license negotiation, we will say that, not necessarily all members will join, but you should have the flexibility, allow members to join in the 2nd or the 3rd year. So the JULAC manager, level, whether there is something that she need to monitor our progress, this is something we haven't explored yet. And also, not her role in monitoring this, because when we have any deal, particularly the cap allocation, each library will allocate our own. We are not competing with a pool of APC. So that's why I said we run quite independently. Yeah.
For our institution, because we also have a research support team colleagues in charge of front-end demand, we are only in charge of back-end demand. So we will lock up all the information in our library system. I'm not naming it here. And then my research support team, they have their own information there. And then usually we will exchange our idea or detail quite frequently. So I think every institution have their own practice, so to meet or cater their need. So, but for the consortium, we are really need to know how to manage more easier. Yes. Thank you.
Monica and Wing, especially Wing and Bonnie, it's very tough to negotiate with. We came back 1 week and said yes, we agree. We just had our negotiation like 2 weeks ago and came back in a week. But really appreciate what JULAC have been doing in the last coming 60 years, right? Next year. My question is like, will there be a one Hong Kong, one subscription, the kind of model, right, to cover publishing for Hong Kong? Because now we are looking at 8 institutions, but then there are other private institutions, the smaller one, all trying to coordinate with a publisher with your years of experience. How can we potentially look at like what India have done, one Hong Kong, one subscription? Any thinking about that?
Maybe just a bit more sharing, because maybe here at the floor there may be people not knowing about the Hong Kong higher education. So we call JULAC a UGC funded university, and then we also have a bunch of non-UGC funding, or they more direct say self-financed institutions. And so far our TAs, we didn't include of them, although I mean some of them has expressed the interest in TA, but for some reason, I mean, we decided not to invite them to the consortium. And whether to this high level as one Hong Kong, one subscription, I leave it to the JULAC directors to discuss. Yeah. If they said, because I think yesterday in my discussion, I already say that in JULAC, one of the strategic plan is to support scholarly communication, and TA is of course covered under this. So this is, we just go along with what the JULAC director said, the path, and then we just move around. But talking about this like self-finance institutions, I guess this is something maybe explore in the future, but definitely at a high level of UGC or even the Hong Kong government. Yeah. I know some self-finance institution, they may contact to some publisher already about setting their TAs. Yeah, because in the past their role is probably more on the just teaching, but they now also emphasize more and more research. So maybe this is why they think TA would also be very useful for them to increase their research visibility. Yeah. Anything else?
No, it's government decisions. No, I don't want to put the pressure to our boss.
Okay, anything else? Because I think we run on. Oh, yes.
Thank you. I'm Songpan Jambriong from Chulalongkorn University here in Bangkok. One of the challenges that I think as most of the consortium we have so far is about balancing expectations between different libraries. And in your case, you have 8 libraries. But and I assume that your libraries in the consortiums sort of share similar expectation, regulations, and requirement. But in the same way, like before that, we started with just the access and reading. But now we have some sort of expectation that might be different from libraries to another libraries. How you deal with that? How you deal with different expectation between libraries and another libraries? For example, like based on your previous data, these libraries or this university probably have less research article in this particular databases. And the other libraries say, well, why should I join in when my researcher published only this number of papers? So how could you manage this kind of different expectation between libraries?
That is why we said that at the beginning. I mean, our TA is not necessarily all a university join together, we allow opt-in. So if some library doesn't find the terms favorable to them, they can just say we don't join. So I think this is one of the flexibility we offer this year. Although, I mean, some publisher at the beginning, their terms might be, oh, you need to have all 8 libraries to join. So we just keep pushing, saying no, 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 no. Then they may just say, oh, okay, 3 libraries, 4 libraries. I mean, like this. And also, I mean, I agree there could be some time that we have different interests. We just finished one TA negotiation that at the beginning, we thought that, if those member doesn't like this model, they may not join. But suddenly they told me, oh, Wing, but I would like to have the Go OA discount. So I need to renegotiate with the publisher again. I mean, can you allow another, this is menu A, right? Do you have a menu B that allows some other member to just have a more simple one, right? Go OA discount. So, and luckily, I managed to have this terms also be accepted. So, yeah, I mean, like, we learn. I mean, like, also publisher learn too. I mean, like, as what I credit, Monica earlier, that she thinks of some other new model and just keep negotiating and discussing with publishers. Yeah.
First of all, I think the expectation not for our consortium member, but particular for our user. So we are luckily we have a member that work their own with their own institution colleagues to make sure the expectation from the user could be fulfilled. So as Wing said, different institutions have their different situations, so they have a different interest. I think it's a fact. We need to we need to encounter and resolve it. So, but at least I think the discussions and then work together will be only one way that we can fulfill different interests to the different party. So you cannot expect that there is one perfect TA, one perfect workflow, one perfect vendor will be here. So you just brainstorming, make your mindset bigger and bigger. And then, can I say this? Or more creative sometimes. Then you may have a more open, yes. Then you may have a more interesting, no matter workflow or even the model could be created, yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's no one size fit all. After this conference, then I need to think about another one. Is I have another AIP. AIP, they have an AIP fusion model. So I already, try to set up a Zoom meeting with their international sales director to please explain to us what is the fusion model. Fusion model. So probably I will send something very obscure to the members to see, do you consider this or not? Yeah, I mean, like the name, fusion. Yeah. So just... Yeah, keep evolving. Yeah, Thai food with Western food, or Chinese food with... Yeah, but this is how they name. I'm sure there are many publishers know about this, AIP fusion. Oh, gee. Okay, so, wow. Anytime? Many more questions? Okay, thank you very much.